All right, let's welcome in the commissioner of the CAA, Joe D'Antonio. Joe, this is such an exciting time of year for us because we get a chance to see all the awesome games that your teams have on the slate, and it should be another great year.
No question. We are truly excited. It's hard to believe that it's right around the corner, and we're ready to go.
When you look at this year as a whole, when you look back at 2019, you look ahead to 2020, what do you see on the lacrosse front for the CAA?
Well, we're anticipating another very competitive season. I mean, you look at the way things went last year, and it's interesting. We'll start on the men's side, but with the just few number of teams that there are, obviously each team is only playing 5 conference games, and with that type of a setup, there's very little margin for error, and certainly anything can happen during the course of the season. I'm looking for a resurgence, I think, from Hofstra, certainly. And with Andrew Baxter coming into Fairfield, looking for them to make a strong comeback as well. And I'm looking for all 6 of our teams to compete once again for conference championship. On the women's side, last year was separated by a scenario where you had 3 teams kind of emerge at the top, or 4 teams kind of emerge at the top, 3 teams at the bottom. But I'm looking again for a very competitive conference schedule, and it should be another great year in CAA women's lacrosse.
Yeah, let's talk about the men's side because you mentioned it. This looks to be very wide open. Fairfield's got Andrew Baxter, like you talked about. We know Hofstra and Coach Tierney are always going to be ready to go. And then with Towson and Delaware in year 3 under Coach Ben DeLuca, I mean, it looks to be maybe one of the most competitive seasons we've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I don't know how you separate the teams right now. I really don't. And I think for us, that's a good problem to have. The coaches may make the difference on that because I'm sure they're looking to emerge out of the pack. But, I think it's a wide open situation to move into the season.
So we look at the schedule that we are unveiling here, and especially when you talk about the early season on the men's side, you got Cornell and Duke going to visit Towson, a big game with Yale visiting UMass this year in February. What excites you the most about some of these non-conference matchups we're going to see here on LSN?
Well, I think as we move into the regular season, certainly the goal of all of our teams is to make the NCAA tournament in the end. And I give all of our schools credit. They're all playing very competitive non-conference schedules. And if we're going to have that opportunity in the end to possibly get multiple teams into the NCAA tournament, it's those wins, those signature wins, that are really going to help their cause going forward.
Along those lines, we've seen this for a couple of years on the women's side with JMU and Towson both making the NCAA tournament for a number of years over the last multiple seasons. On the men's side, we might have seen Towson and maybe UMass make it a year ago. How important was Towson getting a home game last year for the conference and what that represents in being a top seed? And what would it mean to be able to have a couple of teams in that conversation maybe at the end of the year?
Well, it would mean an awful lot. I mean, anytime that the conference can have a presence in the national stage, it's certainly a big deal, not only for the conference itself, but also for our member institutions that are able to achieve that goal. So that's certainly our goal. We're very excited and certainly think that we have that opportunity as we move into the season.
Yeah, on both the men's and women's sides. Larger picture, Joe, where are you at as a conference right now when you look at it as we look to turn the page to 2020?
Well, we're excited. We're still maintaining incredible academic numbers for the APR as a conference as a whole. We're just coming off, I'm sorry about that, we're just coming off a very competitive season in football. Again, sending 3 teams to the FCS playoffs. Our non-conference results in men's and women's basketball have been very good to date. An exciting fall season for the conference. So we're very, very excited here for what the future holds going forward. And certainly excited to get our spring sports going. Can't thank the folks at LSN enough for the partnership.
Yeah, it's going to happen before we know it. Coming up in February, we open up the season. Going to be a lot of fun, Joe. We always appreciate your time. We appreciate the partnership. Enjoy the holiday season here, and we can't wait to talk to you once we get to Lacrosse.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays to you folks as well, and look forward to talking to you during the season.